I am one. I am one. I know that I've probably shared this somewhere amongst the videos that I put up starting in Reno, Nevada in the summer of 2020. But I know that I shared quite a bit of information with Lisa Wolf, White Buffalo Woman, the other day, but it was an audio clip about how this particular system, I probably use, as you know, because of the way that the fire letters work with convoluted language, which is negentropic, and why I've said this before, when I was a child and I had this Crystal Sophia avatar up and running as fast as I possibly could in order to perform the mission that I had already written. So remember I did the video on my old Robert Owen channel. What does a gorilla got to do to get your attention? I'm on the job. And it's not that I'm not wanting to pay attention to you because you're not important to me. Of course you're important to me, because the reason that I'm here is actually not on your behalf. In the way that they cut everything in half, cut the distance in half. Now you're in time, speed, density waves, right? To get sucked down a hole, to suck the whole enchilada down that hole, right? And that seems sort of counterintuitive, right? That why would they want to suck the entire template down, the 15D template down, right? And of course, that all the information on that has already been generated through the servers, running through the servers. And so what ends up happening is that as the speed is speeding up, because of the code transfers that are taking place between the original codes, Crystal Sophia, and so the AI, the system itself, is monitoring the speed at which people are recoding their templates. So remember that an AI war gamer is a strategist, just like a checkerboard, right? We make a move, it makes a move. We make a move, we make a move. So it's scanning the field, and it's scanning the speed at which people are successfully recoding their templates, which is the speed at which they're healing and clearing the miasma body, the shadow body network. So they're experiencing less of what they are, which are based on the codes that the shadow body network runs, which is dead light energy, alien intelligence, because it's alien to the first field of intelligence, which is the first creator. So I know this from my own experience as a musician. Remember, where are my drums, Mom? Playing keyboards, keyboard operators. And if you've noticed, with one of the things that I did with my fingers, which is the dexterity speed, and because it was now experiencing when I got a set of bongos, I got a message in my window, hey, you want to come to work for us? Because it was an AI generated algorithm, what I see visually, saying that we're monitoring the speed at which you're writing script, which is transcription, right? Absorption, transcription, the speed at which you're sound recording. And this has everything to do with not wanting something else to be inserted holographically that's based on a dead light frequency, which is a dead light frequency code, to enter into my space, which is called the intracellular space, inTra, T-H-R-A, raw space, which is intracellular, threefold founder flames, and the relationship that 300 has with 1 as it relates to fire and hydrolysis. Proto means what? First, right? The first template, the proto, the first tool, the first builder tools of building gates, gated wise, right? 3. That's the brilliance of a triangle, a golden fleece network, right? Remember Jason and the Argonauts, Jason and the golden fleece. And so it's not funny, because Goddess knows I cry again this morning. But there are tears of joy and tears of pain when you realize that we're releasing spirits, the elementals that have been held captive by dead light energy codes as a result of what? Star Wars video games, audio video games, AV as an avatar, tar meaning the resins, right? Glue that holds codes together, which is the libraries, the libraries that we're running, because the circulation speed at which we're releasing those codes, which is burning them off, which is increasing the strength of our consciousness field, which is increasing the strength of what? Our firewall, our shield, the tribal shield. The first shield volcano. So it's scanning, right? The biometrics, biometric. So a metric is a meter, which is a voltage meter. So you don't want something, you do not want a parasite on the inner side, right? The inner you, the inner us, the inner eartha, right? Right? Gaining access, and remember, access and entry points, cutting off the access and entry points. So the stronger the firewall, again, we're back to knocking on the door. The intruder races, alliances, we can't get into that door. Man, they got that firewall shield up. We can't get through that door. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Now what are we going to do? Come up with a different plan. Now they're scrambling. We got to come up with a different plan. Because what is it scanning? Trying to find different ways in which to get into that door. So we knew they were going to throw what I call the kitchen sink at us, right? Trying to get in. We need to start recruiting every software engineer that we can, trying to figure out how we're going to get into these doors. Into door A, door 1, the NOMI code. But they can't read what they can't observe. Right? The first camera eye, raw speed. The ratios, which are indexes. Yeah, indexing. So this is one of the reasons I love this. I think I shared this one time before about, and Waking Earth did a great job on this also. So did Terence McKenna. Terence McKenna put the hex nut. You know what a hex nut is, right? Lines of communication, angles of light, the geometric voltage meters, locking consciousness down into the red and black goo, crystal cube coded stuff, right? So Terence McKenna, for those that are interested, produced those mathematical tables because Terence McKenna wrote a book called, this is just brilliant the way he came up with this, The Archaic Revival, like Ark, The Archaic Revival, The End of History and the Rebirth of Mama. Okay? And in that book, he had one of the oldest Chinese manuscripts known as the I Ching, but it was with an I like iron. You know, the line that goes vertical on top, and you got a vertical one, and then another horizontal below that. I Ching. I Chi. N-G. I Ching. It's one of the oldest Chinese manuscripts, according to Terence. So he put in there the mathematical tables because he was working with a Princeton mathematical professor named Ralph Abramson, who was operating, as an operating system with his consciousness, the Visual Mathematical Laboratory at UC Santa Cruz. And Rupert Sheldrake, who was a morphogenetic guy. So between the three of them, the three amigos, out came that book. And there were the hex tables, the hex geometry, that Waking Earth covered about the separation of spirals, which is the separation of temples. Fallen spirits, fallen temples, fallen templates, right? And non-fallen matrices, temples. To experience the first temple, to experience the first breath of Kamaluati, the flame, eternal flame of Adama Amareya. Kundure. Silence is golden, right? Just breathe, baby. Just burn. Just experience the fire. Just breathing. Just experience breathing, eternal peace. No voice box required. The voice box doesn't come into play until it's been assembled. Now you can hear the sound. Music makers. Yeah, they're noise makers. So you got to cut through the noise. so that others who are running a cellular antenna can pick up on the original signal, the first signal, the first signet, the first sign of life, real life. That's why as a child, hey, get real, man. Hey, get real. You're not real. You're pretending to be real, but I know you're not real. But you know what's going to happen, particularly back during the 1950s, I start going around and pinning tags on everyone. You're gone, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're running on dead light, 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 and that number just becomes too big. So how many units of consciousness do we have in the Milky Way galaxy that are running dead energy? See the emphasis with the emotion? Dead energy spirals. So that's what it's scanning, right? The speed at which people are recovering or flipping the spiral back to the right direction. Right? Above the hydrolyzed water line, water tables, molecular covalent bonded water tables, matrix tables, mathematical tables, which are spin ratios, to recover the speed at which we're healing each other, through the right codes, which are the right spin codes, which are the right mathematical sequences in which cells communicate with other cells, which is DNA, yeah, acid and alkaline, use of an electron, right? So we're not experiencing any loss of one electron because we're the eternal gifters of electrons. The first hub, the first wheel, the medicine wheel, the first medicine wheel, which is the first music. The pink Rosetta, Christos Sophia. That's what we experience in us. We share with all of you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.